Well, it has been a very, very long time. And so, everybody, welcome back to the only consistent thing that ever happens on the K9 Joel channel, and that is the Premier League predictions. So, today I will be doing my 24/25 Premier League predictions. Now, these are slightly earlier than I would want to be doing them. However, I'll be going on holiday soon and won't really get another chance to do this before the season has already started. Now, again, I apologise for the very, very poor upload schedule. I just can't find anything to upload. So, if you have any suggestions of any type of content you'd like to see, please let me know. And yeah, let's get into this. So again, a lot of the transfers won't have been made, but I will touch on some of the rumours that are flying around for some clubs as well. So let's get into it. And so first up, we have Ipswich Town in 20th. Now, this is quite self-explanatory, really. I mean, their squad just isn't Premier League quality. Like they've signed a lot of good young players, like Amari Hutchinson, Liam Delap, Jacob Greaves, who isn't that young, but they've signed a lot of good Championship players that did well in the Championship last season, but they just haven't really brought in any experienced players that can help survive relegation. So I can't see them finishing higher than 20th. In 19th, we have Southampton. Just they're not surviving really. They haven't really made any top tier signings. But the only saving grace for not finishing last is their squad's probably a bit more prepared for the Premier League. They've got a lot of good older players that have played in the Premier League before. They've just signed Adam Lallana back, who I can't see why, to be honest. But they're probably a bit more ready for the Prem. But no, they're going straight back down. Next up, in 18th, I have placed Leicester City. Now, I generally thought when they're in the Championship that their squad is already Premier League quality. They shouldn't be in the Championship. But looking at how they've approached the window so far, I'm not really aware of anyone they're planning on signing. But their squad is decent. They've apart from the fact they've sold their best player. And they probably need a new striker. I mean, Jamie Vardy, is he really a Premier League quality striker anymore with his age? We'll have to wait and see on that one. But they do need more signings. But the one reason that they're not going to survive is the potential points deduction, and they're just not. They I think it's officially over for Leicester being a consistent Premier League side, to be completely honest. I think they're just going to be a yo-yo club for a bit, which is really quite sad to see, unfortunately. In 17th, I have Fulham. Now, a lot of people I've seen have actually predicted Fulham to be relegated. Now, I think their squad is better than the three newly promoted sides. They've signed Smith Rowe, Sessegnon, but the one aspect that I think that isn't particularly strong from Fulham's point of view is that they've lost Polinia, and again, their squad just needs improvements in a couple of different areas. I mean, they probably need a good strike. I know they've got Muniz, but they probably need a more prolific striker, and well, they need to sign a new CDM really. But I am currently unaware of any of the rumours flying around. But yeah, I think they'll survive. Just it will be a painful season for Fulham fans. Next up is Nottingham Forest, and again, a lot of people would have predicted them to be going timber and going down, down, down to the Championship, but again, they have enough quality to stay up. It's just they didn't have the best last season. They probably deserve to be relegated at some points this season, last season, but no, I think they'll survive. They've lost a lot of players though, and they've made signings such as Milenkovic from Fiorentina, who's a decent centre back, and Jota Silva from yeah from the Portuguese league, I believe. I think. Anyway, yeah, I think they'll survive. Just again, it will not be a comfortable season. 15th, we have Brentford. It's been a very, very bad window so far for them. Again, sold players when realistically they needed to improve on last season. They weren't spectacular. I know they didn't have Ivan Toney, but that's not really an excuse. Again, there's rumours flying around whether Ivan Toney will be staying at Brentford, but it appears that at this current moment in time he will be. Uh, at the time of recording, they've only really made one major signing, which is at the striker, but he's been injured, so it does appear that Ivan Toney is going to be staying. But yeah, again, it's just been they've sold a lot of players that they just didn't need to and just haven't signed where they needed to either. Wolves now, they've made more incomings than outgoings, but it's just been a very mid window for me, to be honest. I actually predicted them to go down last season before the actual season started based off their window, and I'm not going to predict that again because they proved a lot of people wrong last season in finishing where they did. But I just don't believe that they've made enough signings to improve, which is quite sad because Wolves did used to be a decent side challenging for Europe, but I don't think we're going to get Wolves challenging for European football anytime soon. Everton now, 13th. They've made a few good signings like Lindstrom on loan from Napoli, Jake O'Brien from Lyon, and I'm going to butcher this NDI from Olympic Marseille, I believe. They've had an okay window. Just I think they'll stay up. They actually did do quite well last season. The only thing that hampered them last season was a points deduction. Otherwise, they'd have finished mid-table comfortably as well. And I believe they can do it again. 12th is Bournemouth. Now, they have actually done some decent business in this transfer window. Again, they actually did quite well last season, considering some people would have predicted them to go down, and their early form from last season was horrendous. But Iriola did actually get them playing some really fantastic football in the latter stages of the season. They've made some good permanent deals, such as Unal and Sinisterra, I believe, and they've also added, again, I'm going to butcher this, Huijsen, the Dutch centre back from Juventus, good young signing. I think they'll do quite well again. Probably nothing above 12, but you'll just see, won't we? Crystal Palace, they've had an interesting window. They have done some good business. You know, Kamara, Riyadh, and Ismail Assar coming in. Last season, they actually were performing extremely well under Oliver Glasner, and I believe that they can continue that form. The only problem is how many of their star players are they going to sell? They've already sold Elise to Bayern Munich for around £50 million, which will be a big loss. And there's also rumours about Eberiki Eze linking him to Tottenham, which I don't fully know the legitimacy of those rumours. But if they do sell Eze as well, then they could be lower. But I think based off their current squad, that they will do quite well. Brighton, like usual, they have made some really good young signings like Minte from Newcastle, the Dutch CDM guy, Mats Wayfair, I think. And they haven't really sold too many players. They've sold Undav, but he wouldn't really made the 11th, starting 11 anyway. I believe there's rumours of them loaning Boyanote to Leicester, which would be good for his development. So yeah, really good window from Brighton, but can't see him finishing higher than 10th. West Ham, I believe West Ham might be the big surprise of this Premier League season. They have had an absolutely brilliant window. They've sold quite a few players that they should have, quite a lot of deadwood players, and made some brilliant signings, such as Guilherme from Palmeiras, Kilman, Somerville, Fulcraig, Rodriguez from Real Betis, I believe, and at Todibo as well, which is looking like a done deal at this moment in time. They've had a fantastic window, and I actually believe they might finish higher than 9th, but I'm going to put them 9th for now because That's just a safe bet, but I really do believe they could actually challenge for European football this season. Chelsea in 8th. I actually think they could be lower than this. I think West Ham might actually be above them at some point, at a lot of points this season. They've had a big window for signing youth players, but they've just had no real experience at the minute. Well, I think the oldest player they've signed is Kieran Dewsbury-Hall from Leicester, but he's not even going to make their starting 11. They've got a lot of good players at the minute, but they just haven't signed enough experience to take them higher than what they finished last season. So I think it's just going to be another season of mediocrity from Chelsea. I can't see them finishing higher than 8th. Newcastle in 7th. Their squad is very, very good coming into this season originally. That they have made some decent signings, and currently they've avoided selling anyone major. They haven't really sold the likes of Bruno Guimaraes or Isaac or Gordon yet. And I feel like if they could just keep hold of those players for the rest of the window, then yeah, I mean, can't see why they wouldn't finish 7th. I know, likes of Gordon linked to Liverpool, Isaac linked with like Arsenal, and then stuff like that, and then Guimaraes linked with Man City. But at the minute, it doesn't look like any of those deals are actually going to happen. So, and they've signed a good few players as well. Nothing really too exciting, but yeah, good squad. They need to avoid injury though. Last season was a big season for injuries, and they just need to avoid that this season. Spurs, a good few signings, such as the Swedish guy and Archie Gray. Deals for Solanke is looking really, really done at the minute. And again, potential rumours of Eze and maybe even Chiesa. But I think they'll do well, just nothing spectacular. Aston Villa are another club that had to do some major signings and get rid of some major players at the start of the season to avoid the FFP, and they've done that quite well. They've signed Matson, Barkley, Philogene from Hull, Amadou Onana from Everton. They have lost Douglas Luiz though, which will be a really big loss for them. But their squad's good. Their squad is ready. The only reason I haven't really tipped them higher is they will have Champions League football, and that in a sense might even hamper them more because more injuries and more pressure, so they might not focus on the Premier League as much. But I think that they have made some really good signings, and I think they will do quite well. Manchester United, I'm actually surprised they've put them this higher, but they've made some decent signings. They've signed Xerxes and Lenny Yoro. Lenny Yoro is injured for 3 months, however, but they are still rumoured for some good signings. There's rumoured of a double deal from Bayern for Mazwari and Matthijs de Ligt. I think they're also sniffing on a new CDM. I think Sander Berge was linked, but that doesn't sound like a good deal. But no, to be fair, they've made good business, sold a few bits of deadwood, and yeah, I think they'll do all right. 4th is maybe a little bit optimistic, but no, I think they'll do well. Liverpool in 3rd. I support Liverpool, but I'm not going to be biased and say we're going to finish higher. I mean, if we went into the season with our current squad and no signings, I don't think we'd get past. I think we'd finish 4th. But there's been a lot of rumours flying around. Zubimendi is looking like a 50-50 deal and possibly going to be completed by the end of the weekend. Also, there's been some very half-hearted rumours for Anthony Gordon, which I don't think is going to happen. Mamardashvili from Valencia, which is such a pointless signing. And then also rumours of a new centre-back potentially. So I think if some of those deals do go through, the Zubimendi one looking the most likely, then yeah, 3rd is very realistic, and then potentially a bit of a Champions League run for Liverpool, but no higher than 3rd. No higher than 3rd. Second Arsenal. I mean, they haven't. In fairness to them, they haven't really done any major outgoings. I mean, Smith Rowe currently is like the biggest one, and they've made a few decent signings. Raya and Calafiori, and Mikel Moreno is looking very likely to join. They've had a decent window, but there's no chance they're finishing higher than 2nd. No, not a chance. It's Arsenal. It's literally Arsenal. They can't get past City. No one can get past City. That City team is way too good, and I think they're going to beat Arsenal again quite comfortably. So first, obviously Man City. Currently, the only major player they've lost is Julian Alvarez, but I can't see that being an issue for them. He was a backup striker, and he's finally decided he doesn't want to be a backup anymore. Their squad is just so ridiculously stupid. Their reserves could probably finish in the top four easily. Their squad depth is unbelievable. They currently the only real major signing they've done is Savio, which is a bit of a dodgy deal. But anyway, there were rumours of Kevin De Bruyne and Edison going to Saudi Arabia, but that doesn't look likely anymore. And yeah, they've managed to keep a lot of pretty much every one of their best players. So they're just gonna have a really good season. And again, there's been rumours to the likes of Bruno Ramirez, and I don't think that deal's gonna go through. But if it does, then yeah, Man City are just unstoppable. So those are my Premier League predictions. So just let me know, guys, in the comments if you want. Let me know your predictions and how you think the season's gonna go. But one final aspect. So, like usual, I will be adding the predictions of one of my good IRL friends. If you want to check him out on YouTube, it's Crazy Sauce. So his predictions are 20th Southampton, 19th Notts Forest, 18th Fulham, 17th Ipswich, 16th Leicester, 15th Bournemouth, 14th Brentford, 13th Everton, 12th Wolves, 11th Crystal Palace, 10th Brighton, 9th West Ham, 8th Chelsea, 7th Newcastle, 6th Aston Villa, 5th Man United, 4th Spurs, 3rd Arsenal, 2nd Liverpool, and 1st Man City. I will also include a picture of these so you can see for yourselves. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please stay tuned for the next video, which is probably going to be in another 4 months. But yeah, thank you very much for watching.